From the Benin-Lagos Expressway via the Ore axis meets with rural towns that lead to Akure, the capital of Ondo State. Wading through the road, hills and rocks are the first impression on the traveler. The imposing presence of this natural occurrence knocks the wind out of a tourist who is not acquainted with many towns in western Nigeria. The rocky terrain is not a barrier to farming. Every space is utilized adequately. The vegetation blooms luscious green, a pointer to the fertility of the land. The grasses growing on the hills and mountains provide a synthetic allure, an enhancement only seen in painted pictures. The reverie is interrupted by the welcome sign Ondo Town, the first urban settlement from the Ore axis into the state. Further down, a monument puts a sculpted cocoa pod on a pedestal. Cocoa is a cash crop exported by Ondo farmers.
Ondo is a very good town. We have many resources. We have cocoa, we have cola, we have gedu, which is timber, and we have bitumen. We have many things.
The terrain is topsy-turvy. Houses are either on the mountain or on the valley. Sometimes a major part of Ondo Town comes to view, depending on where one is standing. 15 minutes drive ushers in Owena village. We are stopped by the aroma of barbecue. This is Owena Town in Ondo State, where everything is cheap, from meat to food items. For instance, this is a fruit market. Whereas in metropolitan cities like Lagos State, you can't afford a basin full of oranges. Here, guess what? It goes for as little as 100 naira. The affordability of farm produce in these parts makes one consider the possibility of relocating to a rural suburb. Well, that is only wishful thinking. We move on as there are more fish to fry. Akure, the state capital, is a reminder of Ondo Town. The perks of a modern city in Nigeria are observed every now and again. But the spotlight is snagged by more rocks, hills and mountains. Ironically, the dwellers are oblivious of their presence. Us visitors enjoyed the view with great fervor. "15 minutes later, we speed towards Idanre. Don't forget what informs the purpose of this road trip. What greeted us was unexpected. 4 kilometers to Idanre Hills already prepares you for the spectacle of the sight. I had assumed that I was prepared for this particular hill, having seen many others on my way, but this takes the prize. The hills and the clouds form an overwhelming bond. The smoky mountains of Idanre invokes a giddy feeling. Idanre is a rural town here in Ondo State, surrounded by rocks and hills. You have to do a 360 to believe me. Take a look, enjoy the view. For the Idanre people, the hills are not a novelty. They have always lived surrounded by them. Instead, they are somewhat amused at the tourist who watches in awe at the beauty of the scene. Their unabashed nonchalance is understood, especially when faced with the knowledge that their forebears had once lived up there without qualms.
What I'm trying to say, Idanre Hill, Idanre is being surrounded by hills, but the highest one is Idanre Hills, which is about 2 kilometers to this place, So the hill was, made our forefathers. Maybe they made it in the early states. That's what I can say much.
What I heard from my father was, this is not the real place that the first day they stay at Idanre. When the Idanre has occupied that it cannot contain them again, it is then some people, maybe the hunters, when they get to know that there is a free land like this in this area, that's why they come down here.
The people say they are immune to the dangers posed by snakes, scorpions, as well as other creepy crawlies that make hills and rocks their abode.
By the history of Idanre now, there's scorpion and snake. They do live under this stone. So because they have been living with them like that at Idanre, snakes and scorpion, they don't do attack Idanre people.
Why?
They do it with Odin father through the tradition of the town.
But you still see them around, snakes and scorpions, you still see them around?
They see them at times. If we see them, we kill them.
The road to Idanre Hills is well paved, but easy does it, the curves are rather sharp. Houses stand firm on the hills. This church on the rock may sound like a pun, but it is indeed on a firm foundation. Youths around want to banter with our crew. We pause, for they rather would talk about personal problems than the hills. At the foot of the hills, we meet a staff of the Ondo Tourism Board just back from his harvest of yams behind the office next to the hills. The yams are shapeless and look like miniature rocks.
The rock is there for inside ground. So when they plant the yam, so the yam begin to seed. When they begin to seed, so it seed with ground rock. So that's why the yam be like this.
We meet Ebenezer Owosheni. He okays are going up the 640 flights of stairs to the clouds.
The Idanre people live for good 800 years at the top of the field over there before they came down in 1928. So since that time, people are living down here, but there is a lot of attraction at the top of the hill. The great stair that you climbed the other time before you come down here, you came down here, it was consulted by the government. So formally, they have to use rope or those type of things to climb to the top of the hill. The Carter Halo is over there. There are a lot of attachment points at the top of the hill.
These are the gates leading to the famous Idanre. Right about now, we're going to go up the hills. The mountains look very intimidating and very scary, but I'm not scared. Maybe I am a little. Wale is going to be my guide, and together we're going to take on this adventure. The stairs are old and worn out. We climbed without counting. Holding on to the rusting bars for support is unavoidable. The slippery ground seeks to land to tourists on his hide.
They wrote something here, Chief. Jesus, this is slippery. How did you climb it? It's slippery. Oops.
We stop for a breather. What a convenient diversion.
You try. Continue the journey.
But not for too long, we climb again. We see Idanre village from up here. This makeshift building is called a rest house built by the State Tourism Board. It's for tired tourists who have climbed the mountain and at a point in time think they need a rest like I do. As you can see, I'm already tired. From here you can see the entire Idanre community. It's beautiful, the view is breathtaking. But I'm not done yet. I intend to get to the top of the mountain. Maybe I can see the world from there. Or what do you think? The climbing expedition continues. A scorpion is encountered. We are apprehensive as only Idanre people are not attacked by scorpions.
Scorpion. Why did you? Why is it? Let me see.
That was close. Water when we needed it.
Taste me.
The steps disappear and we enter Idanre.
There.
The ancestors of the people once lived here.
You've been there on that rock.
It's unbelievable, but crops and trees grow on top of the hills. Farming still goes on here. There are mud houses from days of yore. A shrine adds to the mystery. A rundown palace completes the wonder. We are careful and look from afar. While the guide tells us that a visitor who ventures into the shrine with clothes on will live with skin infection for life. We do not argue, we comply. We are told that the Kabiyesi of Idanre comes up the hill a number of times a year for rituals with the chief priest. But today no one is home. The silence is a little nervy. Flowers, running brook, sculptures, old cultural motifs, even elephant bones are enough to make you forget that you are hundreds of meters above sea level. The birds chirping is music to the ears. Coming down from the hills proved less cumbersome. However, the climb was worth the while.